everybody. We are live once again on a Thursday. Ironically enough, she said it wouldn't be every Thursday, but it looks like it has been for a while. That's kind of cool how it works out. Did you have anything you wanted to start off with?
No, not
remind people of your last call for your appointments.
I am putting it out there until I am. Okay. And I got tongue-tied. In February, I am going to be changing my prices, so my prices will be going up. However, I'm making sure everybody knows right now. If you do purchase right now before February, even if you don't want your appointment until February, get the prices while you can, because after February begins, they're going up. For the mentorship, for the astrological stuff, for the even the angel team and the light rays. The only thing that's not really going up is the moon phases, because I shifted that into a monthly thing. Everything else will be going up. I do have my 2 new oils that have already come out. Especially they're oriented around Valentine's Day, and one is Devilish Vixen, and it is a little bit more, it's perfect for if you want to add it to your spell work, your candle spells or anything. It will definitely give you that extra oomph of what you're looking for in your spell work for magic, for love, for Valentine's Day, and so forth. But then I also have another one, which is Goddess, and this is more of self-love, self-acceptance. So it still works with Valentine's Day. You can get them definitely in kits, which are, you can get an oil and a spray, or an oil and a bath. You will be able to pick them up in that form at any given time. I'm going to keep the price on those for those kits, I believe, the same. So you'll be able to find that stuff all on my page. And I do have something new coming out, but it's not going to come out until closer to the end of the month in February, because I do have a dragon line coming out, which I plan on bringing out right around, right around President's Day. But I'm trying to make sure I have it all together and right before it actually comes out. So that's that. And wishing you all a good new moon, because this is definitely a dark new moon. And it is definitely surrounded by, even though you have the new moon coming in 2 days, and then you have Uranus that is going to go direct the day after. You have Mercury that's already gone direct, and you have Mars that has already gone direct. But remember, they're in shadow. So they are moving forward, but that energy isn't exactly at that uplifting energy right now. It still feels like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, because it's got that dark shadow energy going on. So you've got at least to be working through that Mercury shadow, which is about 2 weeks of readjusting what you were learning during those retrogrades, and making sure you don't just jump the gun for anything too fast for this new moon, because this is definitely grounded, slow, and steady. Making sure that you're in that power. If you jump it too fast, you might find that you didn't have your shit together yet. Did you pull any cards yet, Kelly?
I did. I do want to say last call on my cockatrice cleansing and all that good stuff. That goes until February 1st, and then I'm going to switch it for Valentine's Day, which you know me. We have your typical Hex Your Ex stuff. I did bring out some new, they're not new, but I am remaking the Sanrio line of the pastel hexes that I had. So those are cute little mini jar. God damn, the neighbors. They're mini spell jars that they have meaningful herbs in them and things like that, and they're topped with wax, glitter, and a beloved Sanrio character. You can either choose the character, or one will just be stuck on there for you. Those have made a comeback thanks to a lot of demand, so I'm appreciative of that. And I will be leading off with the tower. So, wonderful, wonderful. The Tower, like I always preach to everybody, it's not the dreaded card we should all fear. Honestly, Ten of Swords is the one that's like the ugliest of any card in my opinion, but anyway, the Tower is telling you that, you know, it's necessary chaos. You gotta let that tower fall. You gotta take those hard hits. But at the end of it, when all the dust settles, you can recreate your tower any way you want. So remember, it's kind of that Phoenix rebirth moment. Here we do have not really a nice depiction. I think a dude's on fire as he's falling, but you know, hey, sometimes that's how it be. You got to get burned for yourself to learn. But basically, you know, it's rebirth at a very, very desperate hour.
Well, and like she was saying in the picture, she's talking about, you know, he's on fire. So in some cases, it's not just that you get burned, but you start coming into your soul power, your soul fire, you know, once you've been shit on enough and you start realizing I'm not doing this anymore. So that's part of what goes with the Tower. Going with what she was saying with the Tower, I pulled out one of my Chinese decks. It's mainly animals though. This is the goat, and it goes with yin and yang, and it is for the dark side of the moon. So this is, for me, I mean, when you look at this, for me, the goat is telling you to watch your step. Watch your step, but he's cradled in a hand. I mean, and there's like a fairy talking to him. So yeah, you're on some slippery slopes right now. Things are not quite as comfortable as you'd like. You're gonna have to really watch your step, but in the end, the universe is still cradling you. You're still being taken care of. So even though things might feel rocky, you know, that's a lot of what the goat has to do. The goat is about, you know, being able to scale those high cliffs and getting to that higher ground. And this is what he's doing. He's climbed all the way up into that cradle of that hand. So watch your step, but don't give up.
Hi, Kathy.
Yeah, hey, Kathy. Oh, I'm sorry. Before Kelly pulls that next card, Kelly, what you were talking about, the thing that you were doing, is that also what you have on TikTok? Did I see that?
Possibly. I think
I put it
on Instagram. I don't remember half the time where I post shit. I know I put it on Instagram, maybe TikTok too, I think.
I was just curious because it sounded like what you was talking about, and some of the followers may be interested on following you on TikTok if you told them where you were.
Sure enough. Yeah, my Instagram and my TikTok handle are the same. They're Dawning Fox. Any of the other stuff I have is because I didn't snatch the name fast enough. Like my Twitter handle's different. It's one of those things. I didn't move fast enough in my old age. So we have the sun in reverse. Not ideal, but hey, you know, that's where we sit. We had the tower's our first pull, so the sun in reverse speaks to lack of clarity. It speaks to things obstructing your, let's say your mission, but that's not really right. What you want to accomplish and things like that, your end goals. There's different things obscuring you. You need to figure out why. You need to let the sun heal and cast that light that it has to dispel, you know, the nasty shit that's in the way. Really use that to your advantage. When I think of the sun, I think of Apollo and his great healing and things like that. And it's one of those things of just making sure that we, once again, are moving forward. That's kind of what we've been trying to push y'all to do for the better part with these readings since we started them. I know her guidance has just been really kick-ass, and a lot of people need to take heed of her words when she goes on live to do to do the breaking the cage, because I mean there's a lot of good shit in there. And it can really, really do a lot of good. Even if you can take away one keyword from her or one sentence, it can be enough to build a manifestation off of. So keep that in mind, guys.
I have coming from two separate decks. because I pulled a card before we started, and then I pulled a second card before we started. While me and Kelly were just talking. And I feel like these two are meant to go together, so I'm bringing them together right now. This is Daredevil. It comes from my own special deck, okay? But I'm feeling like it's going with this one, which is a wisdom deck, and it's determination. Now, like I said, we are moving forward, but it's kind of like, stop, stop right now, because the energies are kind of just not letting us, all right? The idea is getting your ducks in a row, double checking them, triple checking them, quadruple checking them, and whatnot, because this new moon that's coming in is Capricorn versus Aquarius. It's very much, we want to create new things. We don't want to do the same old shit, but we want to make sure that it is definitely something that's realistic. It can be brought in. So Daredevil is, yes, take a chance, but don't jump the gun and just, throw your shit out there. Like I was saying to Kelly, and like I was saying earlier, I have a new line that I'm going to be bringing out. It is a dragon line. I have every intention of making it an incense as well as oil and everything else that I do, but it is not quite ready yet. So I'm not throwing it out there like I have my shit together. I'm letting you know I'm still working on it. It's coming, but this is what I'm saying. Take the chance. She was saying with that last card, it was the sun, seeing the light, making sure everything's illuminating, making sure everything is showing itself. Take the chance, being willing, but you've got to slow your roll and take the determination to make sure that it all comes out right. Because if you don't, it's not going to be 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. It's going to be like 2 steps forward, flop, fall down, get stuck in the curb. Oh shit, let me stop. I got to clean myself off. And now I can get going again. You don't need all that. You don't need that ruckus. So just don't overdo it, but watch your shit.
So we have the Chariot here. So 3 major arcana in a row. Granted, one was inverted with the sun, but we have the Tower, the Sun, and now we have the Chariot. That speaks to a lot of maturity and moving forward with the majors coming out so prominently in the beginning. So that is something of comfort. The Chariot, it's a bit of a journey. We have the Chariot normally led by 2 Sphinxes, one light, one dark. And the Chariot is about, coming to that fork in the road and making that kind of ultimate decision. Now, granted, if we go over here and things may not seem as great as we thought, we're gaining the experience to come around to our end goal of maybe that secondary path, or maybe a path that's not even foreseen at the moment. So keep that in mind. The Chariot is about gaining experience, riding out and being patient, the things that we might not want to.
And I was saying in this week's this week's Breaking the Cage, Spirit just is like, they're giving it to me in the level of like, they're such stubborn asses. What they're giving me right now is like, as if they're like, as if I'm on the ground and they're standing on my neck being like, what did I tell you? Like, no. What their meaning is right now, you've got to be responsible for your actions. You have to be responsible for everything that you're braving into life, everything you're manifesting, especially with your unconscious too. And this is the most important part, making your unconscious conscious, so that you're being responsible for what you're bringing out. This is why we keep saying, go forward, but slow your roll, double check, triple check, da-da-da-da-da. What I am getting is, I believe this is my Tai Ching deck. I'm being pulled to a lot of Chinese energy right now. This is a turning point. And, I mean, first off, this symbol is being made with snakes, okay? It is a turning point. When we look at it from the Tai Ching perspective, there's a whole lot more than I have time to give you in just the card reading that we're doing right here. But this is the perspective of yielding yet supporting. It is intuitive devotion. It is being in the belly of the womb, not yet birthed. It's speaking to you of the birthing of your own personal inner dragon. It is the return of your power, your fire, your igniting energy. It is the beginning of a new cycle. It's the turning point. It's the change. That's where we're at right now. And I kept saying, I've been saying like everybody was going on about 2020 and 2021. I was like, that's nothing compared to the shit that's coming. And I haven't even started to truly go into the shit that's coming, okay? Because it's coming. Game on. This is a turning point. So this is definitely a point for you to be aware, open up your eyes, be responsible, see what you're bringing out. But it can definitely be a good thing, but only if you're actually opening your eyes and truly seeing it. Hi, Jess, and hi, Autumn.
Hi, Jess. I'll pull for you in a second after I get done with this card. We have the Wood. So the Wood here, she's full. She's, looking pretty snatched. But it's about being, growing, of course, but being firm, being steadfast, overall being grounded. The Wood is one that she teaches just as well as she learns. It's all about advancement, and that's what we need to be going toward. The Wood also, too, she's heavy into that feminine energy. She's got that loving mother, honestly, Maiden Mother Crone can go really well with the tree if you think about it. But here she's very full, so it seems like she's in her mother phase. And a lot of people race immediately if you go into that triple aspect. They try to race to the crone. They don't want to go through mother. Like, they'll live up the maiden, but they'll race through mother to get to crone. And I'm like, no, the mother has a lot to teach us as well. So if you think that, like, you gotta get to that crone phase and, like, you're in your 30s and 40s, that's not when it's supposed to hit. That's not when it's supposed to happen. Let things progress as they are.
Well, there also comes a thing with you can't know what you don't know until you know what you don't know. And that has to do with, your growth, with nurturing, with children, or just, nurturing someone else in general. You know what I'm saying? And we think that we understand our growth and we understand our feelings and we understand that maturity when a lot of times we're nowhere near it yet. And that's not putting anybody down. It's just saying, hey, don't be in such a rush to get somewhere that you can't understand yet, even though you think you do. And going off of that conversation is why I went the way I did. Because this is from my... What's the name of this deck? I can't think. It doesn't matter. But this one is called Echoes of One. Now, those of you know, I write all over my cards. The thing is, it came in reverse. Okay? Which is speaking to us of being out of balance. We're not quite in the balance that we think we are. We're trying. We've been working forward, but we're slightly still off center. And like I said, you just had those retrogrades go direct. You've got the new moon coming in and that very powerful energy of, coming right over Pluto, going right in and out of, coming right out of Capricorn, going right into Aquarius. But what's more important there is what's going on with Venus and Saturn. Venus and Saturn, even though they're a little bit away, is really going to be what's directing that energy of this new moon. Okay? And then you have Uranus going direct. So we're in general, like I said, it's kind of like you're feeling pulled in a lot of different directions right now. This is manipulating energies that's keeping you from being in balance. And Lord knows there's been a lot of negative outflows going on. There has been a lot of positives because we're trying to be better people. We're trying to learn. We're trying to grow into what we want to be and the earth we're trying to create. But those of the lower vibration have a lot of that backlash coming out, and you can't help but to be around it when you're out in public. You've got a lot of manipulating energies going on, a lot of things that are throwing us off balance. Slow down. Just illuminate it. See the truth in it. keep going forward, but you're not going to get to bullseye, right? Like, that's not going to happen. This is putting yourself back in your wholeness.
So, Jessica, we have nourishment of the golden grain mother. But here what speaks out more so is the scarab. The scarab is a messenger if we think of Egyptian lore with Khepri. And then also we have a gigantic ass ankh over the scarab. So that speaks to a unity of mind, body, spirit, all that good stuff, protection of the soul. That's something that may need to be just tweaked a little bit, because we have these cards that follow, which is Page of Wands in reverse. That speaks to a creative spark that you just let kind of fizzle out. That needs to be rekindled. The Page, though she does seem immature, she has so much to give before she gets to the Knight or even the Queen status. There's a lot there that is for growth. So for her to be inverted, rekindle that. Then we have Three of Pentacles or Three of Coins, whichever. That's Earth energy. Here it's about making sure that we're listening to our guides, making sure that we're sharing information and letting them know that, hey, I understand what I need to work on. I understand where you're coming from to help me. It seems like this may be an ancestor more than an actual other guide, guardian thing, an ancestor. And then we have King of Swords, which represents a heavy male presence. But also, too, King of Swords, again, is taking action. It's also making sure that all the knowledge that we have or that we could have, that potential is unlocked and it's unleashed for the betterment of ourselves. So make sure that you're listening out. You've got your peepers peeled, all that good shit. And just let that page shine a little more through. If you have something that you want to discuss, manifest it, let it out, journal it, do something, but don't let it sit stagnant.
Jessica, I'm going to pull for you too, but if you, I was trying really hard to kind of ignore what Kelly was saying, simply because I want to make sure when I pull, I'm not getting any of what she said in my thinking, so that I know that I'm giving you it direct from, where I'm getting it, and I'm not getting them confused. So I'm going to wait just a little bit longer to pull for you as well. Char, I'm seeing that you wrote with love. If you've never watched the show before, when me and Kelly do it, we do all collective readings for everyone. We're just throwing out what our guides are giving us and the information so that we can get that information out. However, if you want a specific, like 1 card or 3 card pull, it's down in the description box where you could send in for it, because it's the cheapest you're probably ever going to get, Kelly or I. Typically, I charge $38 an hour, and my prices are going up in February. Kelly charges $30 for a half hour. Okay, so it's the cheapest you're going to get one of us, even though you're not getting us directly for that full amount of time. You're just getting that piece at that moment. Otherwise, it's all collective hearings. Now, before I go into what I've pulled, I'm getting a lot of tension energy, and I know that that's going on with a lot of energy. There's a lot of tension going on. People are trying to, rise into that higher energy. They're trying to get out of that auto brain, and I keep calling it auto brain because it's where your brain is on like autopilot, where you've been taught to think a specific way. You've been taught to not even realize you've been manifesting your whole entire life. It's, you've been on autopilot for thinking this is the way the world has to be. This is the way that things have to be done. This. And we're learning to break that. But with that is coming some anxiety with, fear, bitterness, fear of speaking our truth, a little bit of inflexibility, not knowing which way to go. And what Spirit is giving me is stop connecting for all of you, stop connecting what you're seeing in the physical world with the way the world has to be. That's that autopilot. That's you connecting to the lower vibration. It's not telling you to turn your head and walk away and ignore it, but it's saying stop connecting to it. It's just like, and I've heard Kelly say this a million times to people, when you're picking up energy, you know, when you're picking up energy off of other people and whatnot, one of the best ways to protect your energy is to not attach yourself to it. I mean, people connect with it and they're called, they don't mean to be called into the wounded energy, but that's what, you don't pick up good energy, you pick up bad energy because you're automatically connected to it and you're like, ooh. So you have to disconnect. You have to disconnect from that physical idea of this is what my three-dimensional world will be, and then get back into your spiritual thinking, your spiritual manifesting. Because this is what Spirit's giving me right now. And it's clogging up a lot of energies for people in their ears, as well as coming into the third eye and the whole crown. Because like I said, it's that autopilot. And you've got to learn how to break the autopilot. That's part of why I call the show Breaking the Cage. You're breaking the cage of what your world has always been and finding out just how powerful you really are. But there's certain steps you have to do in order to finally get there. What I got was Osiris. Okay? But what I'm getting is disobedient. This can go two ways. Okay? Because in order to get those steps that I was just talking about, you have to learn how to work those steps for yourself. You have to learn how to work them for yourself and take the chance of being fuck you to everybody else. And I believe in me, and I don't need your opinion, and I don't need to approve, but it's not like you're going out and starting a fight. It's not like you're causing the problem. To others, that's standing in your power and learning how to put boundaries up. And a lot of times when we start to express boundaries, that's when people don't like it and they think you're disobedient. But at the same time, disobedience coming with Osiris is saying if you're not doing those steps, you're not going to get there either. So it kind of goes both ways because it's speaking to you of commitment here with Osiris. It's speaking to you of the responsibility of that commitment. And what was they saying in the beginning of the show? Taking responsibility for your actions and your thoughts and how you're bringing it all into action. Osiris is, he's the dead, isn't he?
Yeah, he's God of the dead.
Yeah, he's God of the dead. See, I'm more with Anubis, but Osiris has definitely always been somebody who I deal with, but I usually deal more with Anubis in that sense of that crossing, that boundary. And this is part of what I'm talking about. Anubis is saying you haven't made it through the boundary yet into the world of the dead. You haven't made it to Anubis. I mean, you haven't made it to Osiris. You want to get past Anubis in order to actually start coming into your power, into your thinking, and out of autopilot. Sorry, I have a lot to say.
With that, we have Knight of Swords in reverse. Knight of Swords in reverse speaks to you're going too fast. You need to be a lot more calculating when it comes to taking action, especially swift action. We are winding down from Capricorn season finally, so we can finally just take a breather for a second, reassess everything, and regroup. Maybe recoup what we've lost because we've been a little clumsy. Maybe recoup what we lost due to energy. We were talking about earlier before we went live, like both of us have been dragging ass for quite a while. So it's just about taking whatever you got and just putting a pin in it for maybe like 2 seconds to just take a breather and just rest for a moment. Because if you're running on fumes, you're not going to get anywhere.
And going off of what she just said, I mean, what they gave me is it's your inner journey. Nothing more. This whole entire life is nothing more than you learning how to walk your inner journey and actually breathe it into reality, getting out of the system and getting back to, your inner authority, back to true authenticity. And I've been saying, 3-4 years ago, that word was really big. Be in your authenticity. Y'all didn't have a clue what authenticity was because we hadn't even started shedding shit. Okay? We really hadn't. And we still have a lot more shit to shed. Okay? It is always your inner journey. And guess what? The greatest thing about the inner journey is it's yours. You walk it as fast or as slow as you need to. If you are trying to push yourself forward, just like I was saying with that Anubis and Osiris, if you're forcing it, it's not going to get you anywhere. You got to give yourself that proper love, that proper time, that proper acceptance. The journey is yours and yours alone. You're not here for anybody else. I mean, yeah, we all have things we're meant to do with our life, but at the same time, it's your life. It's up to you what you'll do with it and how you'll do it. Slow down. Love yourself.
So we have the Strength card. This is a very interesting Strength card. We don't have a lion anywhere in this card. We do have scales though. So here that's speaking on your inner balance, that inner courage, that inner fire, that inner temperament, everything that represents strength. The thing about strength that I tell people is making sure, because traditionally there's a young lady, whether she's a page or whatever, that's, she's trying to test that lion, to test those boundaries, see how far she can push the lion, but also to see how far she can trust the lion. She'll have her head in his mouth, or she'll have an arm or something that, she can, quote unquote, stand to lose. Are you leading the lion or is the lion leading you? Here with the scales are, pretty much perfectly balanced in the card. Again, that speaks to making sure that everything is maintained and everything is just so we can unlock, so we can unleash.
Kathy, I don't know if you see it or not, because I'm assuming it's on Facebook, but I finally figured out how to work this sucker. And this medium psychic reading person, if I start seeing people come on that are bombarding you, and, the way I look at it is, if you guys want to get readings from other people, that's great. But if they have to start jumping on everybody else's pages while you're talking to us, that's harassing you. And so I just blocked them. So they shouldn't be able to get on here anymore. So I don't know if you guys can still see it or not, but I'm not playing those games. And I look at that as harassment to the people who I care about and that I'm looking out for. So plain and simple, they've been blocked and can't find me anymore. So I don't know if you'd be able to see it or not anymore or not. With that being said, I have the Knight of Discs. And when I see this card, all I ever hear is just slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. He's reliable. He's reliable. He brings production to anything that he's doing, but he's not in a super hurry. He's all about ethics and getting it right. Like I said, being responsible right now is the important thing. Opening your eyes, checking your eyes, dotting your I's, checking your T's. I can't ever get that right. But, it's shut up. but that's what this is. And when I see this card, I just get, shh, little one. Or like from them for us. Like, shh, little one. Slow and steady wins the race. Stop freaking out. Slow and steady wins the race. So just keep what you're doing. But don't beat yourself up over it. Just keep doing it and keep working your work and you'll be fine. It's just not right now. You're still working it out. There's kinks that we don't see yet, and we have to make sure we're catching them. Long story short.
The journey of the pentacle or discs or, coin, whatever the hell the deck wants to call it. It's, if you look at the journey of the pentacle, it's getting to, refining that craft, digging deep, whether it's them normally like they'll be carving wood or they'll be gardening or something very hands-on and very physical. So it's just maintaining. Sure, at first we have, 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, things like that. This speaks to charity, giving, receiving, things like that. But it's, at the end of it, when you start to reach the royals, so the Page, Knight, King, Queen, there's a lot more effort in, hey, kind of slow it down. We went through all the humdrum of everything else. Slow it down and assess. Really, that grounding that the earth represents is something that just really speaks richly through the Page, Knight, King, and Queen. Yeah, we do pull for individuals on this live. I did earlier, and it's for an additional fee if you want to go through her for her Cash App, PayPal, and all that. And then mine are kind of jumbled on the screen, but if you want something a little more personal, we'll be more than happy to. This is just mainly the collective. So we have Queen of Cups in reverse. She speaks a little bit, while she's reversed, to insecurities. Getting in your own head, getting over emotional, letting that cup spill over, whether it's intentional or not. Most of the time it's not. We get in our feels, we get butthurt over stuff, we get jealous, whatever have you, and we just let the cup spill over. It's about releasing that. You should have released that shit last year, the last couple of years even. We really need to let go of those insecurities. We need to come into our own. Don't shy away from what we can bring to the table.
Kathy, I see that you set in for 3 cards, but you gotta tell us if you want me pulling them or if you want Kelly pulling them. All right, I am. Jessica, this is what I was pulling for you. This is the lotus flower, and it's stripping away the illusion. Stripping away the illusions of, like I was saying, that autopilot of where we're wanting to believe things and we already know aren't really so, or the way or the direction, the way we've viewed it. The illusion is being stripped away. Now remember, when I say for in astrology, when Haumea comes up, this is also the lotus flower. Make, when make comes up, it's also the lotus flower. And I always say, when I'm dealing with it in astrology, that it's the most developed spiritual flower of all. It teaches us all how to grow. It grows in the most nastiest of swamps, the muckiest, dirtiest, nasty water. It reminds you that from your darkness, you come into the light. Eventually, you come out of that swampland, swamp water, and you're a little bit of the light, a little bit of the swamp, a little above and a little below, like the tree. But if you keep stretching, you'll eventually bloom. And this is part of what we're saying here. Where are you on that lotus flower chain? Are you still in the swamp? Are you starting to find that you're bobbing up and down? Are you stretching? Where are you? Be honest with yourself, because what's coming out next is honoring your own energy, honoring yourself for all that you are. You see that this is a flower growing up towards the sun. This is ascension. You're starting to move forward, but it always is going to be placed in the ground as well. So this is, like I said, bobbing in that energy and allowing yourself to truly see what is going on, because something here is asking you to forgive yourself, for forgiveness in the situation. It is the sun and the moon but the moon is definitely the most illuminated here. So it's speaking to you about your emotions, about, you know, your physical body, your physical world, and it's asking you to see the truth in this up and down bobbing and what you're learning about of this ascension of yourself, forgiving yourself, acknowledging, accepting yourself, because then it's going to bring you to a creative new beginning. It's the 3 of Cups here, which I'm seeing more as literally with this one, like overflowing with new relationships, new situations, new healthiness, maybe new people coming in. But it's making sure that you're getting into that direction for that true rawness to come in, for that overflow of healthiness from the way that I'm picking up these cards. And I saw where you said me, Kathy, so I'll pull for you in a second.
So we have 2 of Wands. Quite an interesting take on 2 of Wands. Normally 2 of Wands has got a figure. They're kind of at a watchtower type scene or a hillside or something. They have 2 wands, 1 in each hand, and they're just overseeing everything. 2 of Wands here is unlocking that potential, unlocking those passions, those ideas. Once again, we have fire, that love, that passion, that creativity. Here, there's nothing else around this. What is this, an angel? Yeah, it's supposed to be an angel. There's nothing else around in this dead woods. Her potential is unlocked. Her potential is unbound. She has nothing around her other than dead trees. So her path is clear. There's no set thing. She can go anywhere in that forest. So keep that in mind. Your only confines are what you make of it. All is mind. All is your mentality, your fortitude. So that's something to really, really, really double down on.
I was noticing that Janet was saying for the last couple weeks, it's been 3 of Cups every week. And I remember pulling it at least once. I will say, though, that I feel like the energy in that 3 of Cups, depending on the situation, is definitely being stirred differently. Because I know when I pulled it the last time, I felt very much like it was a mischievous energy. And with the one that I just pulled, I don't feel that. At least when it was for Jessica herself. But, because typically for me, the 3 of Cups is not a healthy card. But for me, with that deck, it was feeling like a healthy card. Anyway, I'm just giving you what I got. Where was my order here?
Cups is about celebration normally. There's 3 people partaking, whether it's Maiden Mother Crone sometimes in some depictions, or just people at a party. It's sharing emotions. So it's about conveying and unleashing, you know, that water energy. Sometimes that's not always ideal when we go to convey things. Things can come out not the way we want them, or sometimes they're not reciprocated in a way. So that's always something to be very careful of. 3 of Cups is a very, no pun intended, but wishy-washy card.
And a lot of times for me, I mean, for who I deal with, usually it's the darker side of stuff that I usually pull out. Okay, what I got for you, Kathy, is actually 4 cards. And these 2 are coming together. It's the 7 of Pentacles, but it's coming with the 10 of Cups. Okay? And this, I think, is a little bit of you being in your head about, like, the people around you and the situation of what's going on. Because the 10 of Cups should be, you know, bringing in harmony. You know, in the situation, it should be bringing harmony in and starting to feel more fulfilled. It's the dance, the celebration as you're moving forward, but it's coming with the 7 of Pentacles, which means there might be harmony, but it feels like there's nothing good here. Like there's no growth here. Like it's literally on my thing. It says a spoiled vine. Like it's just bleh. And I say it that way because in the energy, I was having lunch with Kelly just last week, and I'm like, the energy just lately is bleh. I'm like, it's just how it feels lately. Like you're pushing so hard to grow and to do all the right things and you're getting nowhere. And it feels like you're trying to do harmony, you're trying to create it, but like it's just not really happening, you know? And this is looking back at things. This is also part of that autopilot. Looking back at things, expecting things, seeing things from another perspective. You're also putting the brain thoughts into bleh, without meaning to. So that harmony and that balance, that celebration isn't really getting it because that autopilot is going, let me turn on and mess you up. We all do it. So the reason I'm giving it to you that way is because the next card is the Fool. You're able to realize that you're doing this. You're able to realize the autopilot has come on and it's screwing you up. Wait a minute, let me check that shit at the door. Let me stop creating and start recreating. I do this all the time. I mean, in my own personal life, when I start realizing, oh shit, when I get into my head in the negative way, I go sit outside, I smoke a cigarette, I start looking around, start talking to the trees, start listening to the wind. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just create all that funk. I'm gonna have a little fun little conversation with the world around me, and I'm gonna start creating all over again. But when you do that, remember, what you already started creating that you didn't want is already in its flow. So you've got to actually triple time in order to catch up and pass it. All right? But you have the Fool. You have the ability to jump right into that Alice in Wonderland, jump right into that cartoon land and make that happen for you. It's just realizing to check your head when you're doing it, because then you're getting the Four of Pentacles. You can ground yourself. You can make peace in this energy. You can bring out that sun beacon of energy in this once you've allowed yourself to get that full energy going and then become the power of it. So you just got to stop being with it. I hope that made sense.
So we have Queen of Wands in reverse. This is a very, very heavy card of warning. With that, it's, you know, imposter syndrome, people lying, people deceiving, gossip, just really trying to wreck shit all around. That's not good, whether they're doing it to get ahead or they're just doing it out of spite. It's something that needs to be squashed. So be aware of those people that if they make you feel uneasy, if you feel your ears burning, and, you know, suddenly when you walk into a room, they get very quiet, you know what's up. And it's time to really just, you know, either confront them or, you know, send that shit right on back to them. Either way, but it's gotta stop because it's not helping you. It's tripping you up.
All right, Kathy, I forgot to tell you. You also got as like an extra hint because it came out when I was trying to put the cards away, and it was like, no, you're gonna hear me. The Hermit came out too. So this is, you're capable of doing it all, but you might want to put some extra you time. Just you time. Pull away from everything. Get you some you time, some pampering time, okay? Because it will help you get it right. Because the very first card I pulled after that basically validated, don't forget to tell Kathy, because it was contemplation, which is, you know, going in to allow yourself that moment of getting your head right. I love the Hermit card. It's telling you, spend time with you, love you, get what you need. Now, going into everyone else, is the 5th house, your creativity. And right now, the 5th house has Lilith in it. I'm loving this. Lilith, I will say a million times, Lilith is a little bit more on the egocentric side. But she reminds you, when I look at it from an astrology perspective, because it's the way my mind works, she reminds you, I didn't just come here to do my mission. I came here because it's my freaking life. And I want to enjoy it. It's mine. Not yours, mine. And in your creativity, that's going, don't you allow anybody to take that away from you. Don't you allow anybody to get in the way of you exploring you. Your creativity, that 5th house is your fun zone. Are you enjoying your life in any way, shape, or form? Or are you so busy, so hard worked, so stuck in that 3-dimensional world that you actually have no time to enjoy the things you want to enjoy, to create the things you want to create, to be a part of the things you want to do? Because, like I said, right now, we have Lilith here, and look at this. I mean, you've got the drama mask. It's drama. Leos are full of drama. But I really feel when I see this as the sword between the two of them, of going, you can have everything you want, or you can lose everything you want. Where are you gonna stand? Are you gonna stand your ground and be like, you know what? This is what I want from my life, not that. And I want to do some of these things, and I'm going to make time for it. And I feel like that's a big piece right now, is not just that, but everything that's Leo related, everything that's 5th house related, also is a life force energy. It's connected directly to the heart chakra, to the heart itself. And this is feeding the soul, feeding the heart. What are you feeding? Which mask? Are you feeding, you know, I have to do this, I don't have time for that. No. You start feeling more dragged down. Or, no, I want to enjoy my life. I want to do these things, and I'm not going to do that shit. I say this all the time when I'm doing the astrology. You know, this is where we find, like, the bosses, you know, want to put it off on the little person, and then put it off on the little person and off on the little person while they're out on their yacht on the weekend enjoying their life, but you don't get to have one. At some point, you have to start pushing that shit back up the hill and go, no. This is your problem. You deal with it. I'm gonna live my life. Doesn't mean go out and get yourself fired. It means don't be taken advantage of.
My final pull for the night is the moon in reverse. So that's about unlocking, unleashing, and just overall trashing fears, uncertainties, everything. Anything that doesn't suit you anymore, like we've been talking about time and time again, you gotta let it go. It's a good way to end it. We had a lot of major arcana come out between me and Bells. We started off with the Tower, so I mean it can only go uphill from here. But it's a lot of good warnings here. The moon especially letting you know it's okay to release, it's okay to move to the next phase, it's okay to shift away from everything that, you know, you've overall been just really getting wrapped up in. So it's time. You guys gotta stop.
Another thing, because I have a card I'm going to give you. Another thing that goes off of what Kelly was just saying. It is okay. It's time to move forward. But like I said, that moving forward is not going to be easy at this time. There's still a lot of kinks. And think of it this way. Like she was saying, the tower has been destroyed. It's already crumbled and it's fallen. Okay? But it takes time to build your new tower. It takes time to build your new castle. Don't be in such a hurry to build it on shady, rocky ground that it's going to crumble and fall again. Make sure that you're getting it on strong, sturdy ground, and you're starting from the actual bottom in a healthy way so that your foundation is strong. So that's what a lot of this is about, setting the foundation. What my last card is the 8th house. This is where the South Node's been, and the South Node's been fighting everybody, and the South Node is everything that you're good at, but it doesn't serve you. And Scorpio, which is speaking to you of not rebirthing. Scorpio itself is the death card. It is about birth, death, rebirth within your relationships, within the people and the commitments that you have in these relationships. And if they can stand the test of time or not. But the South Node in the 8th house is saying, can these relationships really stand the test of time? can these people in your life really support you and stand that test of time? The South Node is everything you're good at because it's your comfort zone, but there's no growth in comfort. So no more denial. You're seeing everybody, masks are coming off, and they're going to keep right on coming off. The only way that you're harming yourself is if you refuse to see the truth. Then build a strong foundation. I love you guys. We will see you next week. I don't know if it'll be Thursday or not, but maybe. Bye, everybody. Say bye, Kelly. I love that. Bye.